There are many myths and misconceptions about scuba diving thanks to Hollywood and TV shows, so we are here to put some of these to rest. Hi, I'm Mark from Simply Scuba, and this is 10 diving myths debunked. Number 1. Diving gear is too expensive. We're not saying that it's cheap neither, but scuba diving equipment varies in price, but the quality of gear is so high that you won't need to buy again for quite a while. Diving gear can last for years if you look after it correctly. All scuba diving gear, such as regulators, has to go through testing in different countries to make sure they're all up to spec. So if they're being sold in your country by a reputable dealer, that means that they're qualified and they're perfectly good to go diving with. Number 2. Diving is too dangerous. Compared to other sports, scuba diving is very safe. There is no contact, it's very easy on the joints, and the whole point of the sport is to do everything as slowly as possible. During your dive training, you will be taught all the lessons to stay as safe as possible in the water. As long as you follow the rules and keep an eye on your gauges, then everything will be fine. Number 3. You need to be an incredible swimmer. While it is true that you need to be a competent swimmer, scuba diving does not require superhuman swimming powers. The goal is to spend as little energy as possible while scuba diving so you don't exceed yourself and your air supply. Scuba diving is a relaxing activity, and everything is made to be as slow and easy as possible. Number 4. You have to travel to far-flung exotic locations. When many people think of scuba diving, the images that they conjure up are of the Caribbean or Asian waters. Whether you're from the US or the UK, there is always somewhere to dive, even if you're not by the coast. Lakes, rivers and quarries can offer excellent diving when the weather out to sea is too bad. Number 5. You have to be in excellent health. Before you start your scuba career, you'll be asked to fill out a self-assessment medical questionnaire. So as long as you don't have any serious medical issues, you should be fine. But it's always a good idea to speak to your doctor first so that they can advise you whether it's safe or not. Although saying that, your physical fitness will affect your decompression, so it's best to stay in tip-top condition if you can. Number 6. You have to go deep to see the best stuff. The idea that you have to go dive down deep is a popular misconception. In fact, you only have to go down a few meters in most cases. Coral and wildlife flourishes closer to the sun, so you need not fear being swallowed by the dark depths of the sea. Below 18 meters, everything gets darker, you lose your colors, and you see fewer fish, so it's often best to stay up in the shallows. Number 7. Scuba diving is only for men. While it may seem that scuba diving is mainly male-oriented, that is no longer the case. Many females are now taking up diving, and there are a number of female instructors and dive masters. In fact, equipment manufacturers offer dive gear specifically for females, all of which you can find at our website simplyscuba.com. Number 8. Sharks are dangerous. This is one of the most common questions diving instructors get asked. Films have perpetrated the stereotype that sharks are nothing but bloodthirsty killing machines. But you need not worry, as shark attacks are extremely rare for scuba divers, and you're more likely to be killed by a cow or even a vending machine. Sharks are known to be very shy and tend to avoid contact with humans, especially scuba divers, because they dislike the bubbles and the noise that you create whilst you dive. Number 9. Snorkelling is just as good as scuba diving. When you compare snorkeling to scuba diving, it's much like window shopping to actually going into the shop. With snorkeling, you can look from afar, you can dive down, but you must always return to the surface fairly shortly. While scuba diving, you can stay down for hours as long as you bring down enough air to keep you down. Scuba diving means that you can slow down and take a look at the smaller items on the bottom, and you can reach further depths than normal snorkelers can. You may need more equipment to go scuba diving, but the sensation of weightlessness far outweighs the cost. Number 10. You need a PADI dive qualification. Whilst you definitely need a dive qualification to go scuba diving, there are plenty of dive schools out there. PADI is by far the largest and most well-known dive organisation, but there are plenty of other dive schools out there. While there are plenty of other dive organisations around the world, a lot of them are specific to the country that you're diving in, such as BSAC, which is the British Sub-Aqua Club that specifically teach British divers. You'll learn more specific diving techniques for the waters that you'll be diving in, whereas PADI is a bit more generalised. But it's always essential that you do undertake some kind of dive qualification, as it's not as easy as just throwing on a cylinder and a set of regs and jumping in the water. You do need to learn your theory beforehand. So those were just a few of our diving myths that we usually hear from day to day, but what kind of diving myths do you hear that you want to debunk? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and safe diving.